I apologize for not being able to join you in the meeting today. I'm making this video to give you a short report of my summer experience with my 2 English 101 classes in the writing centers at LACC and with NetTutor. I had about 25 to 30 students in each of my English 101 classes, and I required them to work with tutors this summer for almost every assignment, and they did. Students were able to make appointments and work with tutors in the writer's block for a total of 110 sessions or 110 hours. That meant 110 papers were worked with. And in the online English Writing Center, students dropped papers there. They dropped 220 papers this summer in the online English Writing Center. Some of them also Zoomed. Dimitri told me that students Zoomed for a total of 15 hours. Some of them were not my students, I think. The upshot of all of this is that that the writer's block didn't have enough tutors and enough hours to work with all of my students. So if not for the online English Writing Center, half of my students would not have received the help that I wanted them to get. And it's my opinion that the Online English Writing Center still has a very important role to play in working with our 101 students, especially if the writer's block is slammed. Maybe, I don't know how many tutors they have this session. I think they have quite a few, and there are going to be a lot more hours available to students than were available during the summer, so I think that's going to be different. But one of the reasons that 101 students will continue to use the online English Writing Center is the ability for them to come and drop papers as opposed to working live, and also they won't have to work 1 hour in a tutoring session, although I think in many cases that's very helpful. I think we can kind of sort our students through which tutoring experience is going to be best for which student, and I think students will eventually discover that themselves. So I think that's what I want to say about my experience in the summer. I am continuing to do that. I'm still requiring my students this fall to work with tutors in both writing centers. And I will kind of keep track of what's going on and report at the end of the semester about that. My students did use NetTutor as well, primarily on the weekends because both centers were not available for weekend use. When we did use NetTutor, I directed my students to work with the live tutor on certain portions of a paper, since with the live tutor at NetTutor, they won't work with text that's longer than about 400 words. Although if I tell the students, if they talk nicely and they have only 1 or 2 things for the live tutor to work with, they'll work with the whole paper. So, and some of the students also dropped papers at NetTutor. I will say this, that the students really thought that the tutoring at all 3 places was very useful. And I think they're convinced that it's important to continue working with tutors throughout their college career, at least throughout their LACC career, and I think that's really good. I have a lot more to say, but I won't. Thank you.